Hi, I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to the Let's Keep Moving with Risha podcast. This is Risha. I'm a motivational speaker, content creator, and I love talking about things that will help you keep moving in your life, especially on areas like your life, mental health, love, growth, and everything in between. So if you're ready, let's keep moving. Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I love spending time with you every week. It's amazing how we get to have this consistency kahit every week, 'di ba? It's different kasi kahit every week lang 'yan, there's still a huge difference on your behavior, on how you live your life, on your mindset. Yes, I'm reading all your messages. I might not be able to reply instantly, but I'm reading it all. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending time with me, and thank you for receiving whatever I'm giving here. And happy ako and super grateful talaga na na-apply nyo yung mga lessons na akala ko baka sa akin lang mag-work. Pero surprisingly, it's working for some people. It's working for you. So, yun lang naman palagi. Do what works and let go of the rest. If it's not working for you, then let it go. Stop hating me or stop hating people who told that advice. You can let it go. Do what works and let go of the rest. So, I think I've always been vocal about what crisis I've been experiencing lately, which is work. Tapos, I think medyo maluwag-luwag na yung yung schedule ko kasi January, February, and even the whole week of March was like as in super hectic talaga kasi I'm in the middle of school, content, thesis writing, and I have my board review subject. So, every single week may examination and I still have minor subjects. So, ang dami. And you know what? Hindi ko alam kung nabanggit ko na to sa podcast, pero yeah, I feel like nabanggit ko na. Yun nga, kaya pala nawala yung mga bagay na yun ay dahil I have to prioritize things that are currently important. And I have to let go of some things that I thought and for a while during those moments back in the past were important, which is importante naman talaga. Pero ngayon kasi, nagre-reset ako ng mga habits ko. Nagre-reset ako ng mga habits na dapat nagsistay sa buhay ko at habits na dapat nilelet go ko na at habits na inaalis ko na dapat. And it's amazing how even just for a couple of months, I know I'm doing better. In terms of a lot of things, I'm more disciplined now. I go to the gym, I take care of my mental health, I take care of my body. It may not be perfect, but this progress is something I'm very proud of kasi you don't get to do it all together. So it's a win for me that I get to try to do these things. And even if some things in my life are not working, majority of it is working and I'm proud of it. And wala na ako sa constant loop of blaming myself for not doing good, for not doing enough today, for not doing enough this week, for hating myself for doing these things. Wala na ako sa loop na yon. So, I think everybody or some of you get to experience the same thing and gusto kong i-share yung experience ko on how I get to reset my habits, on how I get to stop blaming myself, on how I get to appreciate my routine, my system, that it doesn't have to be like everybody else. Akala natin, paano niya nagagawa yon? She gets to go there and she gets to travel and she gets to have this money, she gets to have this great relationship, she gets to have this kind of family. Like, paano niya nagagawa yon? And I also get those questions looking at other people's lives. But I guess yun nga, ang daming growth within me that I want to share with everybody and hopefully makatulong. If you feel like you're stuck in a loop, if you want to grow, do better, but somehow you always end up procrastinating, you always end up not doing the same things, like wala kayong plano or how you get to feel motivated at the beginning, tapos sa dulo, wala na. Parang akala ko din dati, sa una lang ako magaling, or sa una lang ako ganto, ganyan. But I realized that self-sabotage. And here's the thing, it's not always obvious. It disguises itself as procrastination, but when it's consistent, it disguises itself as perfectionism, but when it is consistent, it could be self-sabotage. It could be you that's on your own way. So, self-sabotage, it's just fear in disguise. So, how do we break it out, or how do we break out of it? Let's talk about it. If you're ready, without further ado, let's keep moving. I don't know if that intro made sense, but I hope you get the gist of how messy it could go. That, some things on social media, parang it's purely perfect. But no, it's not. People are going through the same thing. And I want to share this hack with everybody. Hopefully, this would make sense to you. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is the importance of recognizing yourself out when you are going back to that loop again. Call yourself out. The hardest part about self-sabotage is oftentimes we don't even realize we're actually doing it. We tell ourselves na, next week na lang ako mag-exercise. First of the month, mag-exercise na ako. Or January next year. Feeling ko di pa ako ready. Research muna ako about it. Let me research about it a little. Diba? Maybe I shouldn't even try. Because what if I fail? It sounds very familiar, diba? But here's the truth. You can't break a cycle you're not willing to acknowledge. It's not honoring your time. It's postponing things because you're afraid. So the first step is to get really honest with yourself and ask na, where in my life do I keep making excuses instead of taking action? What's something that I say I want but never really did anything about it? Do I tend to quit or slow down when things are getting real? Oh, that question hit me. Totoo, na parang I get that feeling a lot. Now, when it's hard, I tend to freeze. I tend to not do things. And I'm guilty of that. Everybody's going through the same thing. For example, you've been wanting to start a business or a podcast, a creative project, a content creation thing. But every time you get so close to doing it, you suddenly find yourself getting too busy or getting swamped by other responsibilities. And that's not bad luck. Like, that's self-sabotage keeping you stuck. And once you recognize the pattern, you have the power to change it, because awareness is everything. Awareness, my friends, is everything. Kaya when this friend of mine told me that, Risha, grabe yung self-awareness mo, yeah. Like, I spent so much on improving myself, on my self-awareness journey. I don't hold anything against myself. Kasi I know that whatever is right in front of me is helping me. And I want you to experience the same thing. Hindi alam yun, parang, let's not be a victim of our heads. We always think na, saka na ako magsastart yan, saka ako nagagawin yan, baka hindi pa ako ready or what. But there's a point in your life na that's the truth. But there's also, and mas madalas to, there's also a moment where you're just making excuses. You know you can do little things. It's just that you don't want to do it because you do not recognize it's happening. And I don't know. I think the story that I might share with this is this reel that I saw on TikTok that says, She wanted to start content creation so bad, but she's so afraid to show her voice or to show her face or to show her life. She doesn't even know where to start. And that's all you have to know. You just have to start somewhere. And it's powerful. When you're there, all you have to do is to like start and ask yourself na ano yung sinasabi ko sa sarili ko na matagal ko nang gusto pero hanggang ngayon hindi ko naman ginagawa. It could be a good body. It could be good relationships. It could be a good family. It could be a good financial status or financial stability. It could be anything. What are you not taking action on? Kasi madami, 'di ba? I understand that we don't get to do it all. But with our free time scrolling, on social media, I pretty much think we can do something about it. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about on our second point. Understand the root cause. What are you really afraid of? Most of the time, self-sabotage is not about laziness or lack of discipline. Sometimes it's about fear. But it's not always the fear that we think. It's not the fear of failure. It's not the fear of success. It's not the fear of judgment. It's never that. It's never the fear of what if I try and I'm not good at it? What if I actually make it but then I can't handle the responsibilities? What will people think of me if I step out of my comfort zone? Madalas hindi yun. A lot of these fears comes from past experience. And these fears are like self-doubt or even old beliefs that were passed down to us. Maybe someone told you that success is risky. Na ang hirap maging mayaman. Na yung mga mayayamang yan, madudumi ang pera ng mga yan. That you're not capable of something big. And you have no idea this was happening already because you do not take the action to recognize the pattern first, and next is to understand where is this coming from, what's the root cause. And mind you, our mind is so good at collecting evidences and storing it sa ating unconscious mind or subconscious mind. It's so good at that. So, for example, you got into some things or opportunity before and you failed at it. Someone laughed at you. Parang magiging automatic na lang sa'yo to not try things because you once experienced that traumatic experience. And it's sad na doon na lang natapos yung story. Doon na lang natapos yung want mo to achieve that dream. Nung nasa coaching call last year or early last year, I get to meet with the girls. It's amazing. And na-realize ko lang na had I stopped speaking, kasi before, syempre nakwento ko na naman sa inyo on how I felt humiliated for messing up a huge hosting opportunity. I thought I'd stop speaking. I kinda think that, oh, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm not really good at teaching this. Kasi at that time, nagla-launch ako ng course. So I was really in a crisis. Had I stopped, it would be an awful story to my grandchildren. Or to my children. Like, alam nyo, kids, I got humiliated in a huge hosting gig. And then, I stopped speaking. I stopped doing my passion. I stopped doing it because I got humiliated. Like, imagine, diba? You've always wanted to start something. You've always wanted to start posting content online or apply for a scholarship or be an international student. But every time you think about it, your mind starts spiraling and says, what if no one likes it? What if I don't get enough funds? What if I won't pass? What if people judge me? What if I'm not just good enough? That's a sad story. And the fear convinces you to stay quiet. to delay, to wait for the perfect moment. And just like that, bigla nyo na lang marirealize na, oh, another week passed, another month passed, another year passed, a couple of years passed, and I'm still in the same spot. And here's the thing, fear doesn't go away by waiting. Dr. Julie Smith had an interview sa podcast ni Mel Robbins, and she says the same exact thing. Fear only shrinks when you take action. The more you face it, the less control it has over you. And the only way to get rid of fear is to expose yourself to it. So we have this term or this therapy type, which is exposure therapy, in which if you're the client and you're afraid of, let's say for example, you have a specific phobia, and these phobias could possibly be fear of blood, fear of heights, fear of being in enclosed spaces, fear of being around people, fear of spiders, fear of dogs, fear of anything, basta specific. You could do exposure therapy. So the point is, on your first session or second session, you could just look at this spider sa laptop. And then the next session, that spider could be across the room. The next session, it could be in front of you. It could be far away from you. The next session, you're a couple of meters away from the spider. The next session, you could be a meter away from the spiders. The next session, it's right straight into your face. The next session, you could touch it. You could feel it. And that's how fear goes away. Hindi yung bigla-bigla ka na lang mag-jump. Hindi yung bigla mo na lang i-consider na, oh, that's not my thing. I fear that. I should just let go of it. Baka hindi talaga kami for each other, or baka ayoko lang talaga nun. But what if the dream is on the other side of fear? What if your loved ones is on the other side of fear? What if the success that you've been wanting so bad for yourself is on the other side of fear? What if it turns out to be better than you expected? What if a good life is waiting for you on the other side of fear? Like, how would you handle things? And hopefully that spoke to you. And I want that to be a reminder that you don't have to do it all in one sitting. You could take small imperfect actions. You just have to start moving. And that's my third point. The biggest mistake we make is thinking that we need to have it all figured out. The biggest mistake we think we're making, or we're actually making, is that we're waiting for the perfect time instead of just moving. Waiting for the perfect time, my friend, is a form of self-sabotage. Instead, you have to focus on small, imperfect steps. I receive a lot of questions from people. How do you start running, Miss Risha? What shoes should I wear? What workout sets should I buy? How many minutes should I run today? How often do I run every week? And I always tell them, just start running. You don't have to think of gels or like what are you going to eat on your runs. No, just start running. You don't even have to think of your shoes. I'm telling this based on experience. You just have to start. And if you wanna, like for example, start a creative project, instead of over planning, just post something. Allow it to exist first before you make it better. If you want to improve your mental health, instead of waiting for a major breakthrough, start with one small habit, like journaling for 5 minutes a day. Want to get in shape? Instead of waiting for the perfect workout routine or going to the gym, why not start with a 10-minute walk daily or today? Every time you take even a tiny step forward, you weaken the grip of self-sabotage, because progress still beats perfection every single time. And it's consistency versus intensity. You could do little things and still be consistent. It doesn't matter. And it's supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be messy. It's supposed to not be good all the time. It's supposed to not be perfect. When you're addicted to the feeling of growing, of learning, of leveling up, you'll find yourself extending that minutes, that hours, that days of doing something. So, never ever feel like you're not doing enough just because you did a little. You did great, okay? Even if konti lang yung ginawa mo, that's already great in itself. Self-sabotage is not just about being lazy. It's about being afraid of what happens when you step into your full potential and when you step out of your comfort zone. But here's the thing. You're already worthy. You're already capable. You're already enough. And the only thing standing in your way is you. So stop telling yourself that you lack the equipment, you lack the confidence, you lack the money, you lack the resources, you lack the skills. No. You're already worthy, you're already capable, and you're already enough. And you wouldn't have that idea if you cannot get past it, if you cannot use it, and if it's not your gift in the first place. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for that perfect situation. Call yourself out. Take the first step. And even if it's small, even if it's messy, because that's how everybody starts, diba? Just start. Because the sooner you break free, the sooner you can step into the life that you actually deserve. And trust me, you deserve it. That's about it, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for spending time with me, and I hope this episode spoke to you. I hope you learned something, and I'd love to know your thoughts. So for the Q&A, I think, what thing have you been putting off? What have you been putting off for months, for weeks, for years? Ano yung gustong-gusto mo nang gawin, but you have been putting it off? And for the poll naman, do you self-sabotage? Or are you being too hard on yourself? If you enjoyed this episode naman, share it with a friend who might be in the middle of this season of self-sabotage. They might need a little encouragement. And you can also share your takeaways on social media. And please, don't forget to tag me at Risha Marceliana. Again, this has been your friend and your host, Risha. Know that I am grateful for you. I have always been, and I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you big time. I'll see you next week. And until then, don't forget to always keep moving. Bye!